What's up, nerds? Welcome to another episode of Nerdy Entertainment Syndicate, the podcast edition. This is your co-host, Drew.
This is Los.
What's happening, Los?
Not much. Where we at today, man?
You feeling a little different? It's a little odd? Something about this world where we're living in a world where Suicide Squad is an Oscar-winning movie?
Yeah. That was pretty cool.
It's just funny, all the jokes.
Good for them.
All the jokes. We're living in a world. Suicide Squad.
Got
Was
an
it, like
Oscar.
a 12% on Rotten Tomatoes? It is now an Academy Award-winning movie. I think that's hilarious.
Let's be more detailed. What is this Academy Award for?
It's for makeup and hair effects, which granted they deserved it, and they were only up against two other movies.
I don't know
So
how it works.
their chances were the best. And granted, they like the Killer Croc prosthetic makeup was freaking awesome.
Right.
To have it a practical effect like that. I guess
Joker's makeup as well.
The design of the
Margot's-
Harley and
Yeah. Enchantress.
it's actually brought out a lot of like behind the scenes photos from like people that worked on the film.
Mhm.
Like there's a lot of stuff, a lot of concept art where it shows like the Joker in the Batmobile in a drive-through. It showed there was a
the Scarecrow.
the rendering of a
Yeah,
scarecrow,
yeah.
like a possible scarecrow in the movie. It's like makes you wonder like what could have
direction
been
they were
in
gonna head in.
how awesome like to have these characters and like have a new scarecrow and like a
Mhm.
legit really creepy scary scarecrow would have been awesome.
Now that they're an Oscar-winning movie, we need to have an Oscar-winning director, aka Mel Gibson, involved in this movie.
His name has been bandied around out there as talking with the producers.
And I guess
stuff,
they're already talking.
and he confirmed it that he's just been like they've just been talking about throwing around ideas and stuff. And I mean, he wouldn't be my top choice. I wouldn't be upset if he did it, but he's not my top choice.
I don't know if I have a top choices for directors, but just hearing him and him involved with the type of movies he does, I could see him perfectly fitting with Suicide Squad and
Yeah.
giving that more realistic direction to it.
Yeah. But like you said, realistic. This is a comic book world, and it's been established
True, but
more comic book
Mhm.
style world. And
it
Mel
hasn't been
Gibson,
working though.
like you said, that's not the thing. You can
Mhm.
keep it that way, but
Mhm.
the stories haven't been good. If Mel Gibson's not writing the script,
Correct.
he
He's
can
directed.
he can direct a good real looking like real world movie, like you
Mhm.
said. But these have already been established as a comic book fantasy world.
Mm-hmm.
They've been failing at the box office or by critic standards because story-wise. Visually, they're stunning. They're amazing. The action's awesome. They're
But even
fun
the
to watch.
direction with the whole Suicide Squad was like, meh.
There was some bits as far as I would say more. I don't know how much David Ayer had in part to do with the editing of it, but I feel the
Which-
editing was more off with Batman v Superman and Suicide Squad.
Which honestly, I think editing has to be a big part of the director because the director's directing it in his vision, and editing can screw that up. So you can make and direct the movie the way you want it, but you know how editing can make anything be completely different.
At the same time, Warner Brothers has had their
yeah,
hand in
and
it.
they can completely
a lot.
butcher a director's vision on the editing room floor.
Exactly how you saw that 30 minutes that were cut out of Batman v Superman. When you see it back in there, it's like, this makes this movie just that
tad better.
bit better.
Mhm.
It's like there's no need to mess with it.
But
Then there was that rumor with Suicide Squad that there was two different cuts of it. There was the David Ayer cut, which was a darker tone and more gritty.
which is what we got
And
with the
then-
extended version, right? With the Blu-ray one,
Not even that. There was two different cuts of it. There was, again, like I'm saying, that David Ayer version.
and the
darker,
trailer
gritty,
company, right?
And then the trailer company version, because of the trailers that they put out, was like, oh, this is the more tone we want to go with. So they edited it more towards that, kind of like fun, upbeat, campy, not so campy, but just more fun, lighthearted, jokey stuff. That they wanted to move away from the darker tone. But I mean, again, I wouldn't avoid seeing a Suicide Squad 2 directed by Mel Gibson, but he wouldn't be my top choice.
Who would be your top choice then? If you're saying that, that means you have someone in mind.
I don't have anybody in mind.
Okay.
But at the same time, it's like he doesn't really intrigue me that much
Mhm.
as far as like coming into the WB DC universe. If anything, one of his good friends, George Miller, would be more my top choice in directing anything for DCEU.
And for me, I really see him more of a suicide. But besides that, we went to see a good movie yesterday.
Yeah, went to see Get Out.
Mm-hmm.
Really, really good movie. It's been like buzzed about on like in the film circuit for the last year,
Right.
and just positive word of mouth, and like it's such a good movie. And seeing the trailers got me interested and like made me want to go see
Yeah,
it
and it was
because it looked like a
and
creepy.
it was a smash hit for a first-time director.
And also the director being Jordan Peele,
Mhm.
part of the Key and Peele comedy sketch duo. That's something like amazing. I think it's more amazing because you'd expect him being such a funny guy
And
to come with something so.
the comedy parts of the movie, you see his signature, his essence. Like,
yeah,
you know
there,
what I mean?
the comedy beats in
Uh-huh.
it are very much in that vein of Key and Peele, like just comedy background with it.
And it was put in pretty good, like the comedy bits, like just kind of to break the tension here and there, but went back to its beating path. It wasn't like forced down our throat or anything like that. It just
Yeah, it was sprinkled
Good-
throughout.
good part, like you said. Good, yeah, it's a good way to say it. Sprinkled throughout, but it was good timing on all the
Yeah.
parts of it. It needed.
Really good movie. Highly recommend it. It is a psychological thriller,
It is
suspense thriller.
More than anything, it is a good mind fuck.
Yeah,
If
it
you ever,
was-
those movies that you out there that kind of like fuck makes you really think, this is it. Like on par with what's that movie we saw? Switch.
Split.
Split. Sorry,
Yeah,
Split.
yeah.
Honestly, on par. Just how much of a mind fuck it
And-
is throughout the whole movie, and even the ending is like, gee, what?
Yeah, I mean, the whole time I'm like trying to think, like, what is it leading to? Where is this going?
So-
what is going to be the
You know,
reveal?
right? And you know what's funny? Spoiler alert, kind of. Should we?
We'll get spoilers into it. If you haven't seen it, if you don't want to skip ahead.
Yeah, okay,
I
so
guess.
spoiler alert here. There was a part when they were playing bingo that I did not understand at first. I'm like, what the fuck are they doing?
Once they show the picture,
Yeah, like I don't know what was
you
going on.
still didn't.
I didn't until I didn't figure it out until you see that guy who won the bingo in the TV. It's like, shit, it was an auction.
Yeah, I understood it was an auction,
I didn't.
but I still didn't understand what is.
Oh, what he was getting auctioned for? Yeah.
Kind of like just at that kind of like in that scene with the
Mhm.
party scene where like people are coming up to him and like feeling his bicep and he was like almost like he's a specimen, like you're
Mhm.
such a prime specimen, you're like good shape.
They were
and
sizing him
good
up,
sizing him up. I was like,
but I didn't get that read when it was happening.
are they like, are they? Is this like a slavery type thing? Are they shopping for these people?
Mhm.
And because there was that other character that came in with the older white lady. He's like, it's like this is just a weird, like, what's going on here? Like I
Mhm.
still couldn't put the pieces together. But once that scene where they're doing the bingo scene and then they pan to the picture of the main character, Chris is like, oh, they're auctioning him off. But still, for what? What is the main? What is going to happen?
What's the main goal?
I thought it would be the whole, because we see, even in the trailer, we see the whole hypnotizing thing.
Right.
I thought it was just mainly kind of like a hypnotizing thing. Like they'd hypnotize him to
Oh, yeah, and
be-
that part was even creepy. Just like the whole
I like that. That was awesome. That
just the hearing the spoon in the teacup and then just sink in your chair. No. I said sink.
It's just the way the sound effect. It was a really good movie. It was really well done. Even that scene I liked too. Once she picked up the little teacup and started doing that, I was like, oh, that's the trigger, because she did that like in an earlier scene, kind of like tapped the spoon to the glass earlier, and just like once she did that, like, well, that's some sort of trigger, or that's probably the pocket watch kind of thing,
You-
like
you
swinging
think
their face.
So were you thinking she hypnotized? Because of the trailer, I was like, maybe when she did that, I was like, oh, did she hypnotize him already and just doesn't know about it? But no, he, when they were having lunch outside and she does that
At that
first.
point,
Yeah, I was like, oh, did she hypnotize him? He doesn't know. Is she the one that
Mm.
hypnotized the whole town because she wants to control it? Like I was just trying to figure out the whole movie. the
yeah, I
whole
was
time.
trying to figure that out too. It's like, but yeah, that was such a good twist there at the end. Even when like that first video came up, where like kind of like the explanation of the I don't remember the name of their little science project.
Right.
Like I still didn't understand it until that guy who won the auction, the blind guy, came up on screen. It's like, oh, the transmutation is like, I'm going to be in your brain controlling your body. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
That's when I find it
and that's
clicked.
how it was a good movie. I honestly didn't understand it until
Even
then. I was like,
until it was
jeez.
just plain.
But it's
set
funny.
out.
It's funny. It's like everything did not make sense until this one little piece, and once it was dropped, the connections just throughout.
Yeah, because that whole mystery, the mystery, and then boom, here it is. Here's
Clink.
the answer.
Oh.
But then even up to the point where like he's trying to get out of the house is like, and then the reveal of the girlfriend being part of it too is like, oh no, because she seemed very like concerned and like
Right.
unaware of what's actually happening. Like she really sold it really
like
well.
she was hypnotized too.
That's what I had thought too throughout the movie. It's like maybe she's hypnotized, and then when we see the pictures of her with these other people that have been hypnotized or that went missing stuff. It's like, oh, maybe she was hypnotized to not remember them, but she was part of the plan the whole time. It's like, wow, that was so cool. Such a good movie.
I can't recommend it anymore. It's a good psychological mindfuck. If you haven't seen it, go out there and check
Really
it out.
good movie.
Let's moving on. Did we talk about Matt Reeves?
Well, the last we talked about it was that talks were all gone. Talks were done. He had to step away from the table, but now it's official. He is directing the Batman.
Because remember we had Ben Affleck Instagram that post. Matt Reeves, welcome to the Batcave.
We didn't talk about that last episode.
Oh, okay.
This was between that time, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So it's official that Matt Reeves is taking over the Batman movie, and he's welcomed in by
Ben Affleck.
Ben Affleck. So,
Ben Affleck posted on his Instagram a picture of him in the Batcave, and it says, Matt Reeves, welcome to the Batcave.
we'll see. I guess. Whatever. Mm-hmm.
Then next week later,
Sure, WB. Mm-hmm.
a week later from now,
Yeah, Matt Reeves.
Matt Reeves
Mhm.
has stepped down due to
Who's directing the movie next? Mm-hmm. All right, let's keep going.
poor Drew.
What's the next?
I don't know how much his heart can take.
Oh, what's this? A Nightwing movie? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. We'll see.
Well, you know what's interesting about this Nightwing movie?
What's that?
How many people are trying to throw their hat into that race?
I haven't seen actual people vying for it, but I've seen people throwing out their ideas for it. Like, oh, this person would be good for it. This person. I haven't seen anybody actually say, "Hey, I want to do it."
Oh yeah, there's people like names that don't know, but they're very actors. Like, oh, just how I would look if I do this. But there's a lot of names getting popped up.
I mean, a couple months ago, we talked about the possible rumor out there that Stephen Yeun, who played Glenn on Walking Dead, was in talks or probably rumored to be or rumored in talks for the Nightwing role.
I can't see it.
And yeah, we talked about it real quick, but that was like kind of just in the ether out there a couple months ago.
Even that, I was like, I don't see it.
But now, over this past week, it's been solidified and official that Chris McKay, the director of the Lego Batman movie, which is an awesome movie. Have you seen that yet?
No, not yet.
Not yet? Gotta go see it. He is in talks to direct. He wants to direct a Nightwing movie. So there's that. So we'll see where that goes.
Another possible headache. Is that what you're trying to say?
I think so. It's just, DC. Oh, what am I gonna do with you guys?
What do you have on Black Bolt?
Black Bolt has been cast. He was just cast today. The actor from Hell on Wheels, Anson Mount. This just came out maybe a couple hours ago. That it's official. We have our Black Bolt. You're into the Inhumans and stuff, so you would know more about that.
Yeah,
but,
he's king of the Inhumans.
That's got to be an easy role because he doesn't say a single word.
No, it's not an easy role because you have to speak through your actions, your facial expressions, which is kind of hard. There's actors that can do that. Like Jim Carrey can be very expressive with his face, kind of do. I'm just going to the extreme, on the
It's
comedy
doable.
side.
I mean, Tom Hardy with Bane. Every superhero that wears a mask and does it. So
True, but Bane did it pretty well.
Yeah.
If anybody can do it, it'd be the easiest thing to do. But I think it's a pretty hard role, just conveying yourself with your features,
yeah, I mean, I'd agree with that.
But that's gonna be cool, man. I want to see the costume. It's a cool. I mean, it looks cool on comic books, so I want to see how
So
costume's made.
so the Inhumans is starting to shape up. I mean, we talked about it that it's going to be released in IMAX and then into a TV series.
Mm-hmm.
So that's official now. It's getting into the works. Got the balls rolling.
Yeah, and then humans are taking a big role in the Marvel universe with the whole X-Men, versus Inhumans kind of deal. Their presence is becoming more known now, and especially with Shield. So Inhumans are becoming more of a mainstream thing now.
I think that's probably in part because they want to get this movie and TV show rolling. It's like let's get more. Of
And,
this
and,
out
and I'm all
there.
for it. You know, expose people to this kind of thing because in any other way, I don't think anybody would ever know who the Inhumans are.
Yeah, I mean, at the same time, there's so much comic book stuff out there,
Right.
movies and TVs. Is like I don't know if I could even fit that one in. Maybe the movie because like
Mhm.
that'll be like an event to go see.
Mhm.
But fitting, well, if it's like an 8 to 10, episode run, I could probably do that. But just like I
Mhm.
got so much already on my plate with the CW shows.
Binge
and,
watching is hard.
and yeah, it's
I know.
it's work now.
Mhm.
Also talks about with this Fox universe. It looks like things are going to start rolling with New Mutant movie.
Yeah, and I believe we talked
possibly.
about that about a month ago or so.
a while
right?
back, yeah, because it was just rumors, but now it's just like getting set more. Like it's
Mhm.
actually going to start happening. Also with the X Force movie,
That'd be pretty interesting. Remember, X-Force is that black,
that's
almost like a black militia, not a black ops. There we go. That's a black ops.
that includes Deadpool and
Wolverine
Oh,
and
okay.
Psylocke and
So this actually, I think
Phantom X. and
it's
stuff like
official
that.
that Joe Carnahan has written a script
Mhm.
or written like a treatment for X Force movie and that he wants to direct it. And I don't know if you're familiar with Joe Carnahan.
Mm-mm.
He hasn't done a lot, but the stuff he has done, you'd be familiar with, and I love it. He was a writer director of Smoking Aces.
Oh, great movie.
He did writer director of the movie Narc. You ever seen that one?
Mm-hmm.
That's a really great movie. He did the A-Team
The
movie. The-
recent 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah, which actually I think
That was
was a
pretty
good
funny.
movie. I
That was
enjoyed
funny,
it. I don't
yeah.
know why that one hasn't come up with a sequel, which I think it should.
It was
a-
pretty good.
It was a good, fun movie to watch.
Yeah,
And also he did The Gray, the Liam Neeson wolf punching movie.
that was a good movie.
That one I still haven't even seen.
Oh man,
I've heard it's a really good movie, but I haven't gotten around to
it's a
watching
good
it yet.
movie.
But yeah, Joe Carnahan, I'm a fan of, and that'd be cool to see what he does with this X Force.
Hmm.
I'm not too familiar with it, other than like the characters, like we mentioned, Deadpool and Wolverine are in it. and
There's
stuff
some
like
good
that, yeah.
stories behind X-Force. There's one where they killed an apocalypse kid, a kid that was supposed to be the future apocalypse.
Okay.
It's pretty good, man. It's a good read,
Right on.
definitely. Once I get my library, we can come over and binge read.
Nice. Also included with that, I think it was what's the director of Logan? Do you remember his name? I'm forgetting his name off my head. He's in talks of like he wants to do like a standalone X-23 movie too. So I mean, just the character being introduced in Logan coming up in a couple days,
Mm-hmm.
he wants to kind of like take that character forward.
Ah,
Isn't she part of like the X-Force also? Like an older X-23 or
no,
New
I don't
Mutants?
recall. Yeah,
No?
but not on X-Force because that was disbanded a while ago.
okay.
Oh, I gotta sneeze. It's not gonna come out though. Hold on. Kong final trailer. Just saw it today. Action packed, man.
How awesome was
This
that?
movie's looking pretty cool.
That looks so cool. There's a couple like similar beats where you see King Kong fighting those monsters, like we saw in that Peter Jackson one.
Mm-hmm.
But this movie looks a lot more epic, bigger in scale, because even King Kong is literally bigger in this movie,
Right.
Because of the universe they're setting up with Godzilla, so he's got to like match up in size. But it looks like fun, like huge action and monsters, and it looks like a great movie.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have fun watching this one.
Kong was whooping some ass, man. He had some fights. He
Right.
had some good jabs and uppercuts.
Oh, that part at the end where he like strips the tree, like
Yeah.
uses it as a bat.
Yeah.
That was really cool.
Speaking of Logan as well, part of this, he has been certified fresh, 95% on Rotten Tomatoes. That's big, man. Honestly,
Meh.
that's big.
With the Rotten Tomatoes, I could.
Mhm. That's big.
Rotten Tomatoes.
95%. Oof. When was the last time a superhero or a comic book movie had that kind of rating?
Dark Knight
What was it?
up in the 90s.
Huh, that was, well, yeah. I can't knock on that.
Yeah.
They were good. They were amazing. But that's awesome, and can't wait till we watch it. We're gonna do the midnight premiere.
Which they're not even midnight premieres anymore.
Remember we were talking about that? How I missed that. Although some people like these new early showings.
I don't mind it now because I'm a little older in age now. My bedtime's a little earlier, and
Not
I
for
got
me.
responsibilities
Not for
earlier the
me,
next
man.
morning,
I,
Friday
it's
mornings.
just it being midnight.
I do miss the midnight premieres.
It being midnight is just something I've always liked, and I think because it's grown so popular to watch it as early as can that they're selling it way earlier
That
for more
plus
people.
like, oh, we're opening it at 7 the night before. That's maybe 3, 4 more showings. So that's an extra how much more money that we're
Yeah.
getting for this weekend box
Yeah.
office, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
It's all
So
a trick to
it's
extend the weekend.
it's
That-
all
that's
it's
the
all
key thing.
it's all business. It's all for the money. It's not for the fans. It's for the money.
No, definitely not.
But I mean, we get the benefit of
Mhm.
like, oh, cool. We don't have to wait till Friday morning
Mm-hmm.
or Friday we get off of work or whatever.
And then speaking of another trailer, Alien Covenant trailer, which I liked.
That came out today.
Very Ridley Scott's of the old movies.
It's going back to making it an alien movie.
Mhm.
Like my first thought after when I pulled up the trailers, like this better be better than Prometheus because
Mhm.
I wasn't really a fan of it.
Mhm.
I might have to watch it again just to understand it.
Mm-hmm.
This movie looks better because it's got the alien xenomorph in it.
Did
And
you,
it has-
did you ever get to see the deleted scenes of the old Prometheus?
No,
With you saw it, right? Have you?
I saw it in theaters, and that was the last.
Okay,
time. I
remember
saw it
that,
the
that
once.
part where the dude is attacking everybody and they're burning him alive, but he's
Mhm.
still attacking.
Yeah.
The deleted one, he looks more of a xenomorph.
Does he really?
Yeah,
Okay.
like very very similar to a xenomorph, and a lot of fans were like, that would have made more sense to the movie. So try to look after this. We'll look it up.
That may have made more sense, but why would a human transform into a xenomorph?
I
Why would he look?
that was
like
part of the
without
deleted
s-
scene. It
That's probably
wasn't
why-
it wasn't a xenomorph. It wasn't a xenomorph. It looked like it, kind of like in the end of the movie when that
The
alien
fourth one,
at the end of the movie where he pops out.
resurrection with.
No. The ending of Prometheus. How that alien is
Okay,
formed.
because
It's not officially the xenomorph we saw, but it's coming close. You know, like evolution kind of deal.
I looked it up.
Mm-hmm.
Did you say you have the movie? Does it
Yes.
have that deleted scene?
I haven't checked it,
Okay,
but I do have the movie somewhere.
but I did. I mean, I did like the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
It was cool to see the xenomorph out in daylight,
Mm-hmm.
but at the same time, I was like, that's more of a creature that should be like hidden in the shadows in the dark. Like the original movie, you barely saw it because it was literally hiding in the shadows, and it would just come out of nowhere. But I mean, that was cool. Like little action sequence to see that thing on the ship, like
Mhm.
trying to bash its head to get in. But it's like, well, I kind of like having it in that horror house, you know, like the haunted house feeling of it. Like what was the
Is there a reason
Original.
you don't like seeing it in the air, out in the light?
Oh, it just struck me that way. It's just
Mhm.
like, because we're so used to it, seeing it in the dark. It's the first movie was a haunted house in space.
Well, the reason is because of the limitations, because it was all animatronics and costumes.
At the same time, that could have been in a brightly lit room, and you would have seen it just as brightly lit. It's just, I'm talking about the way it's so brightly lit, and you can see it basically,
Mhm.
as opposed to it being in the shadows, and it comes out of nowhere and creeps on you,
Mhm.
and just that kind of thing.
Mhm.
That's what Alien was. That's what the feeling of Alien has always been to me. So that just
Mhm.
kind of took me off guard a bit.
Mhm.
Like, but I still am excited for this movie.
Okay. What do you have for Hellboy?
Hellboy is officially done.
Mm.
Like 100% officially done. Per Guillermo del Toro, per Ron Perlman and Mike Mignola. Like there will not be a part 3.
That sucks.
Because even Guillermo's like went up to Twitter, was like, hey, how many of you guys want to see a part 3?
What was the break? Like what? Who wasn't?
It was the budget.
What was the? Oh, that's right.
Because
Guillermo's
Guillermo
the one, right?
wants such a huge budget because he does practical effects. He does giant sets and stuff. So like the budget on this, they were saying what, like 350 million? I think I heard,
Mhm.
maybe more. But because the first 2 movies weren't huge box office successes, they didn't like break a profit for the company. That's why there's like, it's a no go on this.
It's unfortunate.
Yeah, because it would have been cool to see at the same time too.
Maybe Guillermo del Toro can do a comic book out of this.
That's kind of like maybe where I'm seeing it going. Because even Kevin Smith with Clerks 3 and what was that, Mallrats 2, because he doesn't have the rights to that anymore. It belongs to, is it Miramax? Not
New Line
Miramax.
Cinema.
So it belongs to some studio
Mhm.
where they're not going to so much make the movie, but you just have the rights. So
Mhm.
like his idea for the
2 and
sequels
3.
and stuff, where he's actually going to release them in comic book form. But he's actually making a Jay and Silent Bob sequel
I heard about
because
that. yeah.
he owns the rights to
Mhm.
those characters. So I guess that's similar to the whole Hellboy issue.
Yeah, I mean,
too, so
think about it. You can
could-
pull your whole vision into it. Just have an artist that can fulfill that
Can
that
you-
vision with you.
We were just talking about Netflix after watching Get Out. Imagine if Netflix got a hold of like the Hellboy property.
Oh, they do it. Netflix has been throwing money at
Yeah,
Sundance film festivals and everything.
that'd be cool. Guillermo, get on it, man. Take it over to Netflix.
Like Dread,
They'll spend the money on it.
remember?
Dread, they're gonna make it into an animated. I don't know if I want to see
They
it
did?
animated.
They
yeah.
said that? I haven't read that.
Yeah, they're like working. There's talks about that Dread sequel that everybody wants,
Mhm.
but it's gonna come out in animated form,
Okay.
like an animated movie. It's like,
I'd rather see it in live, but
yeah, I'd rather see a live action movie because that
But-
was
they can
a
do great
phenomenal
stuff with
movie.
animation, though.
they could, but just that movie was phenomenal.
It was.
Carl Urban as that character, and just having this in real life would be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So. Yep.
Too bad.
Sad news is.
Mm-hmm. I saw this, but I haven't picked in about Black Mask and Gotham Sirens.
So I guess we're getting teased with that because David Ayer tweeted out a picture of Black Mask yesterday. It's just some panel
comic
out of
book
a comic.
From a comic book. Yeah, that's what I saw.
Like I saw that and like I was like, okay, that's kind of random.
Mhm.
And then like 5 minutes later, scrolling through feed again, I was like, oh, he's teasing. I was like, oh, that's right. I forgot he's directing
Mhm.
the Gotham Sirens. So he's possibly teasing that he's going to be the main villain in the Sirens. Excuse me, the Sirens movie, which would be cool to see, because he's bringing all these random characters out of the comics,
Right.
like the Killer Croc and El Diablo. So bringing Black Mask, that's cool. That'd be cool to see a live action Black Mask, because the Batman's Rogues Gallery is probably the best.
Yeah, they have a bunch of guys.
Of
I
all
think
the villains.
Superman has a good gallery as well of rogues, but they
I can
got
only think of a handful off the top of my head, but I wouldn't disagree.
The ones
that
that Metallo, I think he's a huge guy and stuff like that. You
Brainiac, Metallo,
Mhm.
Lex, of course.
Lobo.
So Lobo's like strictly came out of a Superman.
From what I recall, it is.
Okay.
From what I recall, could be wrong,
But
but they've always fought to a stalemate.
Bizarro.
Bizarro's a huge one.
Damn, man, that'd be cool to see a Bizarro.
See, so he has
Live
good
action
ones, but if you think about the ones that he has trouble with, are his equal, if not better, in one way or another. Not overall, but in one way or another. You know.
Mm.
So.
I mean, his top villain is Lex Luthor, the human.
Mm-hmm.
He's got the brain power. He doesn't have the physical strength
No.
that Superman does, but he's got the smarts to
Mhm.
outsmart him.
And then the one that has the strength was Doomsday, but he did not have the brains or the willpower that Superman has. So that's what I'm saying. All that have been his equals have been greater than him in one aspect, but he's overcome it in various ways,
Yeah.
of course.
So that'd be cool.
Mhm.
Get that Black Mask in there.
Mask.
And hopefully that'd be cool to like resurrect the idea of the Scarecrow. Get him in there too. Just get all these Batman rogues going,
Mm-hmm.
because that's what I want to see in these movies.
And I actually saw this on Instagram, but I wasn't even thinking about it in that direction. I thought it was just Henry Cavill just taking regular
Just random pictures.
random pictures, like, ooh, I'm passing a little comic book shop. Here's Green Lantern.
Well, the first picture was a picture of his dog. I guess his name is Cal. Also,
Uh-huh.
it says Cal looking for another
Hal.
Hal,
Mhm.
and then the picture of him with that reflection of the Green Lantern. Other Cal looking for another Hal.
Mhm.
It's like, is he teasing us with something? What's he doing? What's he up to?
But it's just like anybody, people, fans will take any little things like, does this mean this? Does this mean that?
But why is he doing that? He's got to be doing that for some reason.
Yeah, I think it was just a picture, honestly, just a fun picture. That's it. There's nothing real. I mean, if he was like, yeah, of course, they're still searching.
Because there has been still, even that rumor popped up again today that I heard that there might be that cameo by a Green Lantern in the Justice League movie.
Of course.
More leaning towards like the
But that's fine.
Abin Sur
Okay, that's what I'm
to
saying. There's, Kilowog, Amentor, there's, tons,
yeah, but like I mean the hot rumor is just leading towards that
Sinestro.
Abin Sur in order to find the Hal Jordan kind of thing.
Moving on from movies to video games. This is your alley right here.
Video games. New game just released today, Horizon Zero Dawn. I've been looking forward to that. I mentioned a little bit about that, like after that PlayStation event.
Mm-hmm.
Got to play a little sample of it. Really cool, fun game. It's action adventure. Again, kind of hard to describe. It's set in the future. Kind of. It's kind of like a sci-fi fantasy almost. Where think of Game of Thrones meets like robot animals, robot.
Dino-Tech.
Yeah, like it's a world taken over by robots and
Mhm.
machines. So we're like that far into the future that human civilization has kind of reverted back to
Kind of like
almost Stone Age.
the
type of
robot
stuff.
supremes have pushed out civilization from the cities out to the outskirts, which is just woods.
Yeah, and we fight with even like kind of future tech, where like we have these bow and arrows, but we can, modify them with electrical equipment and weapons and stuff. But,
It looked visually stunning. Just
it's a beautiful looking
just
game.
seeing it through your Instagram, not even in person, but just through your Instagram from with your phone. So there's lower quality and with lower quality,
Yeah.
and it looked good.
It is a beautiful looking game. It's looks like a big world. I've played maybe 3-4 hours of it. It's fun. It has your like main quest with a bunch of the side quests that you run into characters and do favors for them and stuff. But the sound design is awesome with like all the animals. I've only run into like 3 or 4 different type of those mech animals, and they're really cool. I like the design of them. The sound design is awesome, like the sound effects. Once you start upgrading the character stuff, it's like really cool when you can stealth them, you can jump onto them and take them down, destroy them. And at one point you could even rewire them and like use them like as an ally, like you ride on them and stuff. But just the first maybe 10-15 minutes of it, it's like setting up the story, because the main character you play as is Aloy. She's like an outcast. We don't know why she's so much an outcast with this father figure that raised her, and she kind of wants to find out. There's this mystery that kind of gets set up, and also find out who her mother is, type of thing. But there's a sequence where, because you play with her as a 6-year-old for a little bit, like the little tutorial method of it. Then there's like this training montage sequence of it. She's like the little girl doing all this climbing and weapons training, like the epic music playing into it.
Oh my god!
And then
They should have put like an old school 70s or 80s music. You're the best, the best.
You could have kind of done that, but it's better with the epic music. And then like she transitions into like the adult character. It's like I got all emotional. I was like,
You know
oh
what I
God,
just-
is this gonna make me cry already?
Or you just put in that like jazzy music from Hot Rod.
Yeah, the montage sequence.
I was like, oh my god, it's like
So it's a good
some
game.
Footloose stuff going on.
It's a good game. It's fun. Again, I played maybe 4 or 5 hours of it just today. It was really cool. I like it.
That was good.
So that I'm gonna stick to it and finish it. Looks fun. It's awesome.
What's this big lineup you got me?
We didn't talk about Injustice 2.
No, we've been talking about it with amongst ourselves.
We brought
but
it
not
up
in the
maybe
podcast.
the first trailer that came out, like the little Batman Flash Superman that introduces Supergirl into it. But now we've gone maybe a couple months after that. Huge lineup has been announced for this game, aside from the regulars of like the Batman, Superman, Flash, Wonder Woman. We got a huge lineup there. I mean, I think the last one that I saw introduced was Swamp Thing. To see Swamp Thing,
Yeah.
like the video gameplay of it, really cool. It looks so awesome. So many other characters: Cheetah, Black Canary, Catwoman, Cyborg was introduced in this. Ivy, Gorilla Grodd, Deadshot, Poison Ivy,
It's gonna be a good game. man.
Atrocitus. It's like so many like of those deep like DC characters in this lineup. Looks like a fun game.
And a
Another one,
great,
'cause the first one.
great comic book.
Yeah, ever since it came out, I'd heard like this is one of the top series. Like,
It is, dude.
to read
I'm already
the
done with it.
Injustice.
Read year 1 through 5.
I-
I think it's like 20 runs in each year.
Is it about 20 issues?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have year 1, 2 volumes. I ordered year 2, volume 1 from the comic shop, but it still hasn't shown up. This was months ago.
Ooh, you should talk to them.
I brought it up like to see like, but they've given no like ETA or nothing. But it's just like, yeah, it's still on order. I'll probably just
eBay it. Or
Amazon
something
it,
like-
yeah. Because I've had that issue with a couple single issues from them that like were missed, that they had to back order. I just went online and got them within like a week or 2.
Yeah. Like, you know what? Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, Injustice 2, that's another one I'm excited for. I think it comes out May, something like that. That's another game I'm probably gonna have
I'll
to
play it for the story because there's a story to the game.
Yeah,
it's
the
a long
story was
story.
good.
It's a long story.
Because the video game gives you like the main idea of it, the little snippet.
Mm.
But once it get into the comic book, it's like it's huge
Mhm.
storyline, like across all the characters.
And the comic book, it's everything leading up to the video game, and then the video game is you beat it. It's all those little snippet videos add to the story.
I don't remember so much the video game movie wise of it or like the story beats of it
I did because the only way since I don't have it, I just YouTube the whole storyline.
because the video game starts off with the same way Volume 1 starts off with Issue 1. The whole story of the setup of how Joker tricked Superman to kill
Yeah,
him.
but that's pretty much it. But the video game itself, it's literally the ending of year 5 is the start of the story. Besides explaining the whole Joker thing,
Uh-huh.
the start of the whole video game of Injustice.
Okay, I think, yeah, because it gives you that, and then it kind of jumps into like Superman's already done his thing.
Mm-hmm.
He's kind of like has his faction of like
Mhm.
leading the world. And okay, yeah. It's been a while since I put it down.
Mhm.
So. Also, rumors of the Arkham Insurgency.
You were telling me about that.
Yeah, I sent you that little link from Instagram. There's been leaks and stuff. I guess it originated on Reddit
Mm-hmm.
that Warner Brothers Montreal, the guys who made the Arkham Origin,
Mm-hmm.
not the one with like the main Rocksteady Arkham trilogy, is coming out with a new Batman game, which I hope is actually true, because I would love another Batman game. So this one supposedly takes place 3 years after the Origins, which is still before Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, and Arkham Knight. A couple gameplay features of it are like the dual playability with a couple characters like Batman and a Robin. Also has Batmobile gameplay in it, but less of the battle mode of it, like in Arkham Knight,
Mm-hmm.
and more based on chase sequences kind of thing, action
Okay.
scenes. But it's rumored, but I'm kind of thinking it's kind of, I mean, this is a lot of information for just kind of to just be made up out of nowhere, but that'd be pretty cool. I'm hoping that's true,
Okay.
because I'd love to have another Arkham game.
Wait for these. See what happens with that. Cool.
Yep.
What do you have for TV?
TV, we talked a while back about the Black Lightning.
Mm-hmm.
So it's official. We got somebody cast, the actor Crest Williams,
Mm-hmm.
classed as Black Lightning. So they're going forward with it. I think it might be a CW show.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Well, I'm wondering what kind of costume they're gonna go with because he has that two different costumes. A darker one when he's older, and a lighter version of that suit. when
I'm
he's
not.
younger.
I'm not familiar with the Black Lightning character.
Older
Uh,
one, he has. I think he has 2 kids. His daughter's made out of like almost complete lightning or something like that. Pretty
I'd never even heard of this character until talks of the TV show.
Mm.
But yeah, I'm not familiar with it. Supergirl. They just, I think, finished filming with Kevin Smith again,
Mhm.
going up to direct another episode. But this one guest starring Terry Hatcher, who was the original Lois Lane from the Lois Adventures of Lois and Clark.
With that Armenian dude, what's his name? Oh, I forget his name. What's his name?
I don't know who you're talking about.
Who played Superman? Who played Clark?
Armenian dude?
Yeah, he's Armenian.
I don't know he's Armenian. I knew his name. I know his name. So anyways, Terry Hatcher.
Oh my
is-
God! Why can't
is
you
guest starring on the show. Dean Cain.
Dean Cain?
He's Armenian?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I would never have thought that. So she's guest starring on the show. Still like kind of unknown what character she's playing. They're even keeping her costume under wraps because she's like on set in like this big black trench coat, kind of being hidden, and she's hiding like behind Kevin Smith on like the Instagram picture and stuff.
Ooh.
But yeah, that I was actually a huge fan of that Adventures of Lois and Clark show, like back in the mid '90s or something like that.
Mhm.
Like yeah, I'd watch that show. I loved it. So that's cool. I love how CW is bringing back these older, original
Nods.
cast members.
That's what it did. Nods.
like onto the show. Yeah,
Of course,
it's like,
started with the Flash and everything.
yeah, it's just brilliant how they're doing that. Even Supergirl, the beginning of season 2, because they came to CW,
Mhm.
they introduced a new character, Miss, who's a assistant to like the Cat Grant, the head of the newspaper.
Mhm.
Her name is Tess Bacher. Does that sound familiar to you at all?
Mm-mm.
Miss Tess Bacher.
Mm-mm.
That was one of the characters from the original Superman, the movie. You remember like Lois or Lex's one of Lex's henchmen was Tex Blocker.
That fat dude.
I think that guy, I don't remember his name, but there was like it was just kind of a nod to the Tess Blocker
Okay.
name. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool that they brought that
Mhm.
back. That's cool. And I didn't actually get a chance to talk about this, but Powerless has been on for about 3-4 weeks, and I've been
Mhm.
watching it. Remember we talked about it? It's like NBC's comedy, like Office version of the DC world.
The cleanup crew for the superheroes.
Because it originally started as being an insurance agency,
Mhm.
like covering like all the superhero mishaps. They completely kind of retooled the show and reworked it. Now it's like an R&D department, research and development,
Mm.
where they come up with like tech and equipment to help ordinary people like involved in like the scenarios with superheroes.
Mm.
It's a cheesy show.
Mhm.
It's got like that cheesy comedy. It's I would
Does it
just-
work though? Does it work? Does it truly work?
It's actually gotten better over the last 3 episodes. The first episode, like I enjoyed it. It's cheesy. It's got it's, but what's big about it that like I mean, being DC fans,
Mhm.
you'll enjoy it because it has so many like references,
Okay.
so many nods to different DC characters.
Mhm.
They mention like the last episode I saw was the third episode, was a big Batman heavy episode.
Mhm.
The second one was a Aquaman heavy episode. But it's actually gotten better over the last 3 episodes. Like the
Mm.
writing's a little better, the jokes have gotten a little better. It's not as cheesy, like dumb jokes. And the main character Vanessa Hudgens, she's like really adorable. Like
Yeah.
like this is like a cute comedy show. It's
Yeah.
a cute DC comedy show. But I'm actually enjoying it. Like
I'm gonna have to give it a try.
give it a shot. The first episode's like really is like, yeah, it's like I don't see it lasting a whole
Mhm.
season. I don't see it going past the season, but it's gotten better. Like episode 2, episode 3, like the jokes are really good because it involves, like the main, Alan Tudyk,
Uh-huh.
who is like the boss of the company. He plays Van Wayne, so he's Bruce's cousin. So there's a lot.
Oh my God.
There's tons of like jokes about like the Wayne family and
Uh,
because he wants to like kind of get out of the company he's in now and move to Gotham
yeah.
because they're in Charm City right now. So he wants to move to Gotham and work in like officially
Manor
under
or something
Wayne
like that,
Tower
yeah.
with Bruce. Last episode, it's like something like was left behind, like a batarang was left behind on like some damaged equipment.
Mhm.
It's like they found it. It's like, oh, it's got a tracker on there. So they turn it on in order for Batman to find it, and
Mhm.
like they want to like meet Batman and talk to him. So Van Wayne, he has like some sort of thing going on. It's like a little sneaky, like kind of makes you think like, is he Batman? Because at one point he's got like a suit under his business suit. Like he looks kind of buff. It's like, could he possibly be Batman? Are they going that way with it?
Yeah.
But he like takes off the suit. Like he's, oh, I got a secret for you guys. Let me show you. So he takes off the suit and he's got a Robin suit underneath. It's like now he wants to try to be Robin.
So he's gonna try to talk to Batman.
Yeah. There's a lot of like funny jokes. It's a cute show. It's funny, and I'm enjoying it for what it is
Alright,
right now.
alright.
So I'm having fun with it.
Cool. Let's go to comics now.
Comic books. You reading anything?
Just caught up on a lot of stuff. X-Men versus Inhumans has turned out to be really good.
Still going strong with that one.
With me, yeah. Pretty much the Inhumans have already been taken down. X-Men are working on taking down that last Terrigen cloud that's killing them off. That their attempts were thwarted and they pretty much reached a limit of point of no return. They're pretty much down 10 points, 2 seconds left on the clock. So they are pretty much cornered, and there's really not much outlook for them right now. So it's either total annihilation through the cloud or they leave the planet.
This most likely will end up in kind of a stalemate because like you can't really have the X-Men completely wiped out or
Correct.
wipe out the Inhumans. So like
Correct.
it's gonna
Correct.
Yeah,
And all they
that's
do,
what's
they
leading
don't
to.
want to. The thing is, the X-Men don't want to wipe out the Inhumans.
Yeah.
They just want to wipe out that cloud. And the Inhumans is like, you're pretty much wiping out our future because the Terrigen cloud turns ordinary people that had the Inhumans gene to Inhumans. It brings them out of them. So it's coming into its fruition to see what's going to happen right now. And then the next one I really kind of liked. It was, corny, but it was pretty cool. It was the Power Rangers and JLA team up.
I read
Not
the
a
first
team
issue.
up.
Crossover.
crossover, and I read the first issue, and it was interesting to see that, seeing how the Power Rangers powers are into the DC world, how they're enhanced. So that battle with Batman is like, oh, okay,
They can keep up.
they can keep up because you see him find the putties and Z, so you don't really think about how powerful they really are.
Yeah.
And then you see them in that world, like, oh, okay, they're extremely enhanced. Okay, cool. Oh, okay, cool. So there's more weight to their speed and their agility and stuff like that. So I thought it was pretty cool. It's like, so it's pretty interesting, and I'm gonna keep reading it.
I enjoyed it. Yeah, I'm liking these crossovers because they're only maybe 6 issue runs.
Yeah.
But yeah, I read the first one. I haven't got the second one yet. I haven't read it. But yeah, like the first one ends up with like what the Pink Ranger taking off with Batman and the pterodactyl.
That movie,
Yeah. So that's cool. Yeah, actually speaking of crossovers, there's tons of crossovers like going on right now.
Yeah.
I'm not actually reading all of them, but like Green Lantern has one with Star Trek right now.
Right.
They even have one with Planet of the Apes.
And Star Trek is Dark Horse, right? Yeah.
Was it?
I think so.
I'm not sure. I don't follow the Star Trek comics. I don't know. Green Lantern and Planet of the Apes. I got issue 1. Still haven't got to read it yet. There's another Batman Ninja Turtle crossover, but this one's like more the Nickelodeon Ninja Turtles and animated series Batman.
Mm-hmm.
So that crossover is cool. It's fun because like each issue kind of takes on a different villain. Like one of them was, because of course the Joker and Shredder meet, and there's the main like bad guy story,
Mm-hmm.
and then there's like the villains of the week. Like Ivy was one of them, Scarecrow, and that's a fun little issue, fun crossover. And the one that I'm really enjoying, it's a 6 issue run. I've gotten through the 5 of them. 6 comes out in a couple weeks or so. But He-Man and Thundercats.
Really?
The artwork on it alone is freaking amazing.
Really?
But the He-Man and Thundercats are really cool. Like that crossover world
I'm gonna check
story
that
of
out.
it is really cool. A really good story.
Cool. Yeah, I'm gonna have to
Yeah.
check that out.
That's actually the He-Man Batman one I caught up like last week, but I forgot to talk about it. But this current week I haven't really read anything.
No,
Just-
I'm probably gonna go tomorrow, or if not on Thursday. We're gonna watch a movie, pick up my pool. But that's pretty much it. Oh wait, one more news. One sad news.
Yeah, hate to end it on a down note, but it's kind of a bummer. I mean, we're constantly losing celebrities.
Correct.
I mean,
But this is completely unexpected, and it was unfortunate. But we lost Bill Paxton.
great
this
character
past
actor. He's been in tons of movies.
One of the best character actors, because he's put in a lot of good movies and like just like memorable movies. He's in all those youth movies that you grew up watching. He was
was
in
that Weird Science?
Weird Science.
Chet was the character.
He was also killed by Terminator, Predator, and
He's
Alien.
one of the 2 only actors that have been killed by an alien, a Terminator, and a Predator.
Yep.
Him and Lance Hendrickson. But yeah, like a character actor, his first lead role I think was Twister. Kind of like the first movie that
And
put him in the lead role.
I like
And
Twister. I remember from my youth, and a lot
Twister-
of people were saying that he really held that movie together.
I think the movie was made because of him.
Mhm.
It wasn't a great movie. It's like a campy, cheesy 90s,
It was a total
like,
90s movie.
total 90s
About a
movie.
twister.
But he was the star of that movie.
Mhm.
He held that movie together.
He did,
And being that character actor, like I've heard from so many people like mentioning him, and like yeah, it's true. His characters, his little side characters that he's always been in the movies, have always stood out.
and that's what I'm talking about. He's a perfect character actor, because you bring him up and people are like, oh, I remember him from, and they'll remember the character, although it wasn't a leading role. They remember his character.
Just that,
And how often do you have people remember character actors in a lot of movies?
but being so memorable, yeah, like you're saying, like I mean, True Lies, that sleazy
It's car salesman.
car salesman. Like anybody could have played a car
I have
salesman.
a small dick.
But
It's
that
pathetic.
character, for him, he was like the perfect part for that. And same with like what was like the aliens being that character. One of my, one of like his top roles, like in the horror. You know what? Actually, he wrote and directed this movie called Frailty. Have you ever seen that one?
I heard of it. No,
It's a really good movie. It's like a horror thriller, like a psychological horror thriller. Really good movie. It's got him, and Matthew McConaughey in it. It's one of my favorites. Really good movie. Highly underrated because it's not talked about enough, and I think you should watch it. But really good movie. What was I gonna say though? But Near Dark, he was one of the characters in that. like I think it was mid '80s
Mhm.
horror vampire movie.
Mhm.
I vividly not finished watching this movie,
Right.
but I liked it. What I saw, I liked it because it was one of those back in the day, like my group of friends, we'd go to Blockbuster rent a movie. My movie it was my week to choose a movie, and I
Yeah.
chose Near Dark. So we were watching the movie, and I was into it, and I liked it because it's like it's a different type of, it's one of those old school slow burn horror movies.
Yeah.
It's not slasher, gore, fast paced, because it's got a story to it.
Mhm.
And all my friends were hating this movie so bad. They were
Clowning.
talking so much crap on me. It's like, we're never gonna let Andrew pick another movie
Yeah.
again, and da da da. And I was loving the movie, and because of that, they didn't even want to finish watching the movie, and I never saw the movie since then because I just had such a like
Oh my god.
just a heartbreaking feeling of it. But I'm gonna have to go and revisit this movie because of Bill Paxton.
Mhm.
So that's one of my memories of Bill Paxton is this movie Near Dark. Do you know which movie I'm talking about?
No, I don't.
You might. Let me see if I can pull up a picture. But just seeing images of it, you
Mhm.
might remember it because it's like this gang of vampires, and he's like got this half burned face on it. You've probably
It
seen
sounds
this.
familiar. Sounds extremely familiar.
Yeah, once you see this image, you'll know.
But anyways, oh yeah.
Lance Hendrickson is in this movie too. So it's like this gang of vampires, like thugs.
Oh,
So yeah, watching that movie is like, it was kind of a heartbreaking. Like all my friends were ragging on me about picking that movie. It's like, but I was loving it, and I never got to finish watching it. So for Bill Paxton, I'm going to have to finish watching that movie.
well, like I said, it's unfortunate we lost him, and it was all due to complications from a heart surgery.
Yeah.
But anyways, guys, this is it for us. This is what, Andrew?
It's a Nerdy Entertainment Syndicate podcast edition. So go ahead and like, share, and subscribe.
Mm-hmm.
This
This is Los.
is Drew.
Game over for us.
Later.
That's it.